Hello. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about the number 11. We're talking about the number 11, and we may go into numbers like 56. I have this in, and I can't take it out. I have to leave it on. So I may be fumbling and stumbling in my mouth. Just let it be, okay? I'm going to try to let it be. You try to let it be. It's so hot. 1 second. Okay, so we're talking about the number 11 today. I can't take myself seriously. Oh, yeah, so like 47, 56, 38, those are all variants of 11. Those are all numbers I've been seeing a lot lately. So I feel like the frequency, please just bear with me. I feel like the frequency of 11 and the energy of 11 is becoming more dominant, predominant right now in our society, which is why there are variants of it showing up in different, through different numbers, right? Because numbers are their own, the numbers sequence and number, alphabet is its own language, 0 through 9, and then all of the things, the combinations that can be created from that. So we just have to have trust. We just have to have faith. Okay, so 155, that's another variant of 11. There's a lot of variants showing up right now, and I think that that's because hold on. Okay, we're just going to keep going. We're just going to go with it. Ignore me reacting to myself because it's just me being dramatic. So anyways, spirit guide, spirit team, higher self. Let's pull into the frequency, the number 11 and all of its variants, including 111. And let's talk about it. So what is the first, how do we begin this conversation about 11 and its significance and what it means in terms of the practice of numerology? What I can see initially is like a shadowy figure of a man surrounded by light. He represents your sight and your sound. Your sight, your sight and your sound, your 5 senses, when configured by light, equate to the numbers of 6 through 7, of 6 and 7. There are an infinite amount of parties that can be subject to the light. So there are many ways in which the 11s can be formulated and the energy of 11 can be formatted. The energy of 11 is the energy of light. Yeah, look at that. I keep saying 155 and I saw 138. So I'm seeing all the variations of 11s marked also with that number 1 at the beginning. So the 11s are the frequency of light. So when we are speaking about 11s, we are just speaking about light energy that surrounds us. It's not necessarily your light body, it's the light that makes up your reality. So 11 is expression. 11 is the physical manifestation of a quality or of a perception or of depth. Pulled from darkness is light. So when you think about what 11 is pulled from, what the number 1 is pulled from, it's pulled from darkness. It's pulled from 0. I thought of 11s and I thought of Geminis because I was thinking of the 2s, right? And right before Gemini is Taurus. Taurus is earth energy. And Taurus is the first sight of earth after the birth of Aries. Gemini following that. So we start with fire, then we get earth, then we get air. If you are going to consider earth to be the womb, then you can attribute earth to darkness, right? And then the Gemini would be the light. Air is light. Earth is dark. Fire is light. Water is dark. Earth is feminine. Fire is masculine. So light and the 11s are also a masculine number. So I've seen 411. I've seen 911. I've seen 511 a few times. And then, like I told you, I've seen those variants like 38, 56. What does that mean? There's definitely a lot of purging happening right now. A lot of purging, spiritual purging occurring right now. And it's happening at different frequencies, which is why we're seeing all of this energy being pushed out. You know, it's not coming to us straight in our face as 1111. It's showing up in our face as 47, 56, like the examples that I've given before. Why is 11 always, the number that we look to? It's like kind of the entrance into angel numbers. It's kind of what people always talk about. It's 1111, right? That's the magical number. That's the number you see and you make a wish. Why with the 11s? Well, I think because the 11s are numbers that represent the frequency also of the star. Like the star in the tarot, if it had to have a number associated with it, an angel number, I would say 1111, right? Because it's about the hope of what could be. When you look up into the sky, into the universe, you see your origin story, right? We all come from stars. We all came from a star that exploded and created this magnificent universe, according to science, I think. But we all have outer space within us. We all have stardust within us. The qualities of a star was able to create all of these elements. So the star is the, I wanted to say the earth womb chakra, but the star is the womb of the heavens, and it's what can create, it's what can manifest into the physical. It's a result of physical manifestation is what the star is. And that way it mirrors masculine, because masculine is what is created, right? The feminine is the potential to create, the ability to create, to receive the idea, to follow through on the idea, but the masculine is the creation. And that's what the star is. The star is a creation of life, which then goes on to be the creator of life. An extension, right? But it's not the origin. The original is darkness, because in order to see light, you have to be surrounded by darkness. So now it's becoming meta with these 11s, because now in order to see the light, you have to be the shadowy figure, right? So there's also this element of the shadow is in its reign right now. the shadow is at the forefront. So you might find yourself being triggered a lot with the purging that's happening, because in order for the light around us to be seen, we have to be dark figures, or else we're going to blend in with the light, and we're not there just yet. So we need to allow our shadows to come to the forefront. 8-11. We need to allow our shadows to come to the forefront, so that we can see what is lit up, where is there light, and distinguish ourselves. And it's interesting because this separation comes right before the union, right? But you have to recognize that you are separate to recognize that you then now would like to come together. It has to be a choice, right? Love is a choice. This could be connected to the quality of 919, because that ultimately equals the number 1. What else with the 11s? It's loaded. It's a loaded term, but as of right now, that's what the frequency of 11 is bringing us. It's bringing us to a state of certain awareness around where there are remedies for healing, old wounds and sacrilegious practices. What does that mean? I've got a feeling it's not good. I feel like I might have said the wrong word. Sacrilegious. Profane. Oh, well, we said healing, right? Yeah. To old wounds and sacrilegious practices. Well, sinful. Yeah, but what does that really mean? Like, what is a sin? Because that's the other thing with 11. It's also, you can really connect it to the Hierophant. But it's in a way where it actually begins to tear down question systems, because 11 is a spiritual number that deals with spiritual systems. When we start to think about 11, we start to think about the systems that are in place spiritually and whether those pillars make sense anymore. So right now, when we're seeing all of these 11s and the variants of 11, we're being asked to question the spiritual pillars of our society. What are our universal truths? What are those, and do you actually agree with them? Are they truthful to you anymore? Do those resonate anymore? Because the truth is not stagnant. The truth changes depending on the age that you are in and depending on the state of existence you are within. Because as your soul evolves, your understanding evolves. And so the truth is different. What's true for me might not be true for you. And sometimes that doesn't mean that either one is wrong. There are the personal truths, and those personal truths are important to understand and to hold on to. You are allowed to have your own truths. Yes, we are all, one, but we are also individuals in this reality for a reason. You have personal truths for a reason, whether it's because of the path that you are specifically on, that you need to know. You need to believe certain things that may not be helpful for other people to believe, whatever. You do have your personal truths, and I feel like there's a questioning around the foundation of those beliefs happening right now with the 11s as well, because the 11s are those pillars. It's also why we're seeing the Four of Wands coming up a lot in the tarot. There's a lot of energy around marriage and union, a coming together, a state of coming together, and breaking up the cycles of the cycles that have cycled around these pillars, the cycles that these pillars have created. There's a lot of digging up of those roots and understanding, like looping all the way down and seeing where these cycles began, and you find yourself at these pillars. And once you are able to identify the pillar, your shadow comes and begins to purge everything that has been a result of believing this thing, of following this certain way of speaking, of following this truth. And then by the end of your purging, you're going to decide whether or not you would like to continue along this path of belief or whether you would like to change your belief systems. And if you choose to change your belief systems, you go into the Hanged Man, because you are choosing to end your life in this spiritual system, which is a death. But the decision to end your life is the energy of 1212, because it's the acceptance of the existential crisis and kind of the falling to your knees towards it and not fighting it anymore, not resisting the existential truth, which is that you must die, and understanding that spiritually and metaphorically and symbolically, whatever you want to say, you understand that death will happen many times in this life. And so that's why 1212 exists, and that's why the Hanged Man exists. So by the end of this purging cycle, we will be moving out of justice into the Hanged Man, into 1212. So 1212 is an energy that's coming. Hanged Man is an energy that's coming towards us, because many people are going to no longer believe what they have believed for a very long time. This could also mean that there's going to be a fall of some type of church system. There could be collapses of churches or of entire faith systems, belief systems. There could be collapses in countries, like being governed by certain belief systems that could fall away. Like, either way, spiritual systems are falling away right now. It's also why 11 is coming up a lot in its different variants, right? And all of the numbers are connected. So like the 8s are really important right now. The eights are really important right now, and that's for different reasons. What else? Yeah, because 50, 35, 53 has been a big variant of 8 that I've been seeing a lot. So those are connected, and I may talk about that later, because here I see 8 right there. And 44 I see, oh, look at that. I see 44 too, just not, I just don't pay attention to it as much for some reason. Yeah, and we've got like 6s are starting to come into prominence. But yeah, right now we were just talking about the 11s. So I think we're done. And if there's anything more, I'll just make another video. But thanks for sticking with me. This was the 11s, what's going on with the 11s and their variants. Their variants are many, but yeah, what is the meaning right now in terms of numerology? Yay!